Hi, everyone. Today is Wednesday, October 15th, 2025, and this is the International Outreach Think Tank meeting. Dan, if you would go ahead and read the Bivens Declaration for us.
Sure thing. This meeting is private. Bearing false witness, misrepresentation, and posting inflammatory rhetoric in public forums is forbidden and shall be addressed in an appropriate manner. To eliminate all conflict and false allegations, is there anyone in attendance in today's meeting that is a member or agent of any law enforcement agency or public agency of the federal, state, city, county, or township agencies present? Is there any response to the Bivens decision for the first time? Hearing none, is there a response for a second time? Hearing none, is there a response for a third and final time? Hearing none. Anyone who is here under false pretenses, anyone who is working for any foreign government, including the territorial United States or municipal United States, anyone who is being paid or coerced to be here must fully disclose their presence and purpose now or leave this conference call. If they subsequently show up as federal witnesses, they are discredited for failure to disclose. Are you now or have you ever received money or personal support of any kind from the intelligence community? Upon no response to this notice of the Bivens decision, this meeting shall now proceed. Back to you, Tammy.
Thank you. Okay, Kathy, would you do us the honors of giving us a prayer/affirmation?
Yes. I'm going to ask God to bless us all, the ones that's present, the one that's not present. And we're going to pray for peace for everyone and that we all come together and we can get everybody on board to do this with all of us. And I do ask God every night to help us with our assemblies because it's so much needed. I thank you. Thank you very much, God. Thank you for blessing us. We just thank you. Okay, I yield.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay, all right. So
You're muted for some reason, Tammy.
Oh, I always mute myself when somebody else is talking. I try to. All right, I'm going to share my screen just to pull up the agenda for today. I don't have it printed out in front of me. All right, so just to review scheduling the American States Assembly's podcast, it would be great to get, I know, Annette, I reached out to you to see if perhaps even maybe Marion County would want to be on the podcast, because it's all state assemblies, right? And anybody else who hasn't been on the podcast, if your state hasn't been represented, please reach out to me. I'd love to get your state represented. And if you look at the bottom of the agenda here, I do have both the links for the American State Assembly's podcast. One is on BitChute, the other one's on YouTube. Yeah, so BitChute is more accurate. YouTube, for whatever reason, the copyright issues with the music. I mean, it's such a joke because if you go on there and search the songs, and they have songs that come up, and it's just words that people are putting to the songs with their own background. And then you get people that are remixing the songs. So it doesn't make any sense why they censor it. But in any case, this is why we have it up on two different channels. BitChute doesn't censor any of the podcasts. Also, I wanted to just go over our shared resources, and I think what I'd like to do, I'm gonna stop screen sharing this, and maybe I think I'm just gonna do this. All right, so I'm gonna take us to the ICE Drive account because I want everybody to see and know where all this information is. So I'm gonna take you to Outreach right now because I do want to show everybody where the we're the American Government Resurgence Project. I believe this one is it. Yeah, this is the American Government Resurgence Project. And there's all these folders in here that Luis has uploaded, assembly templates. I mean, this is the campaign, basically with all the steps, prep and planning your campaign. She kind of outlines everything here. And then going back, close that out, go back there. Assembly templates. And so, Luis, I wanted to ask you, when you created these brochures, did you create these brochures in Canva?
No, in Publisher, Microsoft Publisher.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
All right. Now, Vicky, I know that you guys changed this up because, see, the thing is when you print these brochures and you use that solid green color, as nice as that is, it gets costly with printing. And so I know, I'm pretty sure that the Pennsylvania Assembly restructured their brochures to have some color, but not these green sections for the sake of cost of printing, right? Is that correct, Vicky?
Yes, yeah, I did do that. And actually, I was just on this Ice Drive account just for the last hour, and I did upload them to the outreach folder that we have on here. And
Okay.
yeah, I was just uploading other things that we've done in Pennsylvania.
Can you show us where that is?
If you go to the TASA outreach, it would be in the trifold brochures.
Oh, okay. Beautiful.
And then I numbered them 1, 2, and 3 because there are 3 brochures that you should actually use together. And
Yes.
yeah, so I just took out the dark colors, and I did these on Canva.
Okay.
So I was able to just open them on Canva and then edit them on there.
Yes, that's the beautiful thing, because I think a lot of our states are using Canva since it's a free tool.
Right.
And it's very easy and simple to use. So this is fantastic, because then we could all go in there, change out the QR codes and the state seals. Is this your logo, or this is not your state seal, right? It's your logo?
No, we had voted on a logo, so that's our logo, and
Yeah, it's
took
beautiful.
the seals off of everything and put our logos on.
Ah, yeah, good idea. Yep. Beautiful. All right, so then we'll go over, and then this is brochure number 2. Why do you need to correct your political status? Oh, this is great information. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to go back here. And then number 3, 9 steps Americans need to take. So these are the brochures, by the way, that when you start your county tours, that you can use to give out to the people that come to your county tours. So, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but I just wanted to, that's beautiful. I just wanted to show everybody how to access this. So it's very simple, and if you have, if you have the agenda and it's on your computer, all you got to do is just hit the link for the outreach, and that'll take you to the American Government Resurgence Project.
Tammy.
Yes, go ahead,
Yeah.
Louise. Yep.
So in that folder, I was going to mention when I got my turn, so I'll mention it now. There is a Spanish version that's going up in there now
Oh,
too.
beautiful. Here, let's go
we-
back. Oh, not that one. Hold on. This one. All right, here we go. Let's see. How do I get
Just
at
go
it?
back to the American Government Resurgence Project folder. So there should be a Spanish version in here.
Oh,
Right there.
right there?
Versiones de Español. Yeah.
Versiones de Español.
So we have
Beautiful.
someone who volunteered who speaks Spanish and wanted it in Spanish for their their county, tours and stuff, and offered to do it all in Spanish if I wanted them to. So I said, yes, I've been looking for somebody. So she's we got so far the postcards. I'm only gonna do the big postcard for this, the Spanish translation. And then she's got the brochures and the transcript for the video and the PowerPoint for the video. And then she's gonna actually do the audio overlay of the video as well. That's coming. So that's updating that Spanish folder there that was added.
Awesome.
Mhm.
That's fantastic.
Mhm.
Was that Dolores?
No, Carmen, actually.
Oh, Carmen. Okay,
Mhm.
awesome. Yeah. Yeah, so I just wanted to share my screen and kind of walk people through the process of how to access that. Does anybody have any questions?
This is Vicky. I don't have a question, but so Dolores, right, from Michigan. Her and her husband stopped here and they just left yesterday. And we got talking about outreach material and educational material. And she was saying how she wished there was a way to utilize what other assemblies have done. So I told her about this. And I think the thing is that unless people come on this call or happen to see it on your Telegram channel, they don't know it's available to them. So if you go on, I just want to show you an example of what I was thinking of doing. If you go on the education ICE drive there, follow that link, and then go to the silver bullet folder. So I just want to show you, if you click on the one that says PDF silver bullet with silver bullet links. So
This
that's
one?
a PDF. Yeah, that's a PDF I created just to make everything about the silver bullets, all the links all together on that one page. So I thought I would create something like that for these two links to this iDrive account and make it look nice and kind of give samples of what's on there. And so that way we can be sharing that more and maybe get it out to more assemblies that more people will be able to utilize what's on there, because we have a lot of really good information on there.
That would be amazing, Vicky, if you could do that. That would be beautiful.
Okay, I'll send that to you when I get it done.
Yeah, awesome. Luis, go ahead.
So that brings up a question that I've had. When I post the videos, replays to the YouTube channel, I also post the outline or the agenda, and I would have the link to this iStrive on there. And I wasn't sure if I was allowed to post that link in the description of these videos. So I took it out. Should I go ahead and post it? That means anybody can see it and anybody can log in.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we wanted this specifically just for our state nationals, just people that are status corrected. So it's probably a good idea to, if you had it in the description on your YouTube page, to kind of remove it.
Okay.
Yeah. Good question. Andrew, go ahead.
I get it out to everybody. Everybody needs to see it, and I get it out to everybody. That's it. I yield.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the hard part is that there is so much information and there's so much that people are doing respectively on their own states. I want to say Valinda from Georgia, I believe, put together that, um, I think it's declared 22 declared something to that effect. I believe, I think I have it.
Sovereignty declared 22.
Yes, thank you. She put that link tree together and it's phenomenal. I mean, it's really all encompassing. It would be lovely if we had like a one-stop shop, where we could list everybody's podcasts, we could list everybody's different organizations. I know for us, and I guess, I mean, if you guys don't mind, I can share this with you too. If I could pull this up. So on our General Assembly agenda, on the 4th page, we have miscellaneous resources. This is where I try to put everybody's stuff, and I attach it to our agenda so that everybody gets it and it gets updated all the time. I mean, I've got everybody's podcasts, all of our elected officials' information, Global Family Bank stuff. We have an iStrive account for our assembly, the IT help desk, all this lovely information, land recording office, Linktree. This is the Sovereignty Declared 22 that I've added in there. All of Doug and Christie's litigation stuff with the DMS file and the password, the militia assembly training links, mortgage fraud. I mean, I just alphabetized it. And every time we have something new, the Mop and Bucket channel, Anna, something is wrong when the recordings, the link for that, all this stuff I just have in here, and I continue to update it, all the PKTF stuff. So that's kind of how we do it. It's it would be great if, when we're talking about internationally, like sharing information across state borders and to have some place that we could go to. So, Vicky, I would be in full support of, you putting some, link together like you did for this here, that would be beautiful. It would be great to have even the links for the meetings. Luis is doing the county tour meetings. You're doing them on Sundays, right, Luis?
Yep.
Yeah. So the links it's the same link every week or whenever you have them, right? Are you doing them once a week or every 2 weeks or?
Once a month, every second Sunday of the month.
Oh, okay. So once a month. So that would be great to just put that link on there too. But all these different meetings that we have options to attend, I think it would be phenomenal. All right, let me see. I'm going to get back to our agenda here. Did anybody have anything? I thought I saw a hand up. Andrew, Perosi, did you have your hand up?
That was from the last question, sorry.
Okay, no worries. All right. Okay, and I did want to say, oh, Amy, go ahead, Amy.
Would you be willing to share that last document you just showed with everything you've got? Or can you not with other states?
What I could do is I could just extrapolate, that shared information and send it to you. You're the Amy that was in Ohio for the family reunion, right? The second Amy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, nice to see you too. Yeah, I could take out, I could just probably copy and paste it onto a new Word document and take out our agenda information and just forward that to you.
Okay. I think you've got my information, my phone number or
Yeah,
email even. I can't remember. I think we shared the contacts.
yeah. And did you get an invitation for this meeting tonight, or did somebody forward it to you?
No, I got it off our main Jan has it on our state site for other.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we
Well,
have all the meetings.
do me a
Yeah.
favor, Amy, put your email in the chat so I could grab it. I think I just have your phone number.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I yield.
Okay, so resurgence coordination team. So like I said, Luis, oh wait, did it say second? That was the third one that you had. Wait, is this? Oh, this is our old. I have the wrong outreach agenda up. This was from last month. That's why I'm like, wait a minute, that I know I changed that date. Yeah, so let me pull up. Sorry, guys. It's been busy busy. Let's see. Let me just. Okay. October. Here we go. Let's get this right one up. Okay, that's much better. I'm going to shrink it down just a little bit. Okay, so yeah, so Luis had the third meeting this past Sunday, and I put the link for the playback on our agenda, so it made it easier for people to just grab it. And does anybody have any questions about any of that old business? We're going to go on to new stuff. All right, cool. All right, Darren, I have you up first. I think we're really would love to hear the update of how Terra Australis has done on your touring of your country, really.
Thanks, Tammy.
Yeah.
So you mentioned touring. So the most recent tour that we've done was a town tour around the Southern Downs, which is our Toowoomba district on Queensland. We had 14 presentations in 14 nights. Mookie and I did the tour. And while the meetings weren't, we didn't pack the halls, we had some really good people turn up, including lots of newbies, which was really encouraging, and including a lot of people who sort of knew there was something wrong with the world but didn't know what. So they're only just beginning to awaken. And yeah, really encouraging to see that beginning to happen. Quite a few of them have taken the special juice and were quite horrified when they heard Mookie talk about what that was all about, the bigger agenda. But they're aware of it now, and they know that they can do something to help themselves heal, which is wonderful. So that was a few weeks ago. We finished that. On Saturday just gone, so for us here it's Thursday. On Saturday just gone, the Toowoomba Assembly had a paperwork workshop, and they had 15 people who had connected with us through those tours come and do their paperwork. So that was a really good result. We know there's a few more who will also go through the process, including a couple of young fellas. So there was a 21 and a 22-year-old. So again, that's really, really encouraging. You know, we clearly want more of the youth to be involved, and yeah, we really enjoyed having them there, and some contact sense, which is wonderful. The other thing that the local assemblies in particular have been doing is we've been pushing quite hard to try and get some penetration into the other groups. We've had a lot of meetings with leaders of these other groups, and you know, there's a lot of egos come into play, and a lot of cross purposes. You know, they love their usufruct and don't want to let that go in a hurry. But what we found as being very successful for us is two things. One is targeting the members of the groups in the local areas and sharing what it is that the assemblies are doing. So a lot of the local assemblies are getting some really good attendance from members of other groups. And we're not saying to them they have to drop their other group. You know, once you reconvey, you're free. You can decide whether or not you want to continue with and support the group you're with. But just get your paperwork done and get involved in your assemblies. Help us to prepare for elections and get our government up and running. And the other thing is linking in with other initiatives that are going on. So we stay clear of anything that looks like a protest. But there's been a couple of really good initiatives happening on Terra Australis with groups that are bringing people together, you know, more or less stand in the park type events, but bringing all the different groups together and talking about the solutions, that sort of thing. So we've been tapping into that and getting some really good airtime with podcasters and those kinds of things as a result. And that's working well for us as well. We do have some challenges with communication. I imagine we're not alone in that. Just as an example, so we've got a couple of Telegram groups which are intended for us to be able to communicate with all of the state nationals. One of those Telegram groups has got 169 participants or members in that group, and there should be well over 2,000. So we're having difficulty in contacting them to get them on there because our email databases are lacking. Right back at the beginning, so before we started work on the assemblies, which was January 2024, people were doing their reconveyance, and true to the idea that, you know, we have a public governance structure, but every man or woman is private. All of their details were deleted after 30 days of doing their paperwork, so that we didn't have, you know, all that stuff in one place. So we really do struggle to communicate with the people that have been through the process. We also have a welcome channel, which is for all people who are interested in the assemblies and keeping up to date. That's probably the most effective way we have to communicate. And it's not very effective. There's only 1,009 people on that group, and there should be, you know, well over 10,000, giving the numbers of people that are looking at us and involved in their local assembly meetings and that sort of thing. So that's a real challenge for us. As part of our town tour, we did a diversion one night. We headed to a Tartaria Australia event. And we're very close friends with the couple that run the Tartaria Australia. They have podcasts and meetings and all these kinds of things, and they've got tens of thousands of followers. It was well worthwhile doing that. So we had intended just going for the day, presenting to the group has been organised, and then leaving, going back to the town tour. They invited us to stay overnight, and it was enormously successful. There was somewhere between 100 and 150 people camping out in the bush, and a wonderful environment, wonderful, loving community. And lots and lots of the people that were there have committed to come and help us with the assemblies and get their paperwork done, which is wonderful. Other things we're doing in the communication space. So I've spoken before with you about the what we call the PET initiative, the Public Education Tour, which began life as the Police Education Tour. It's sort of got put on ice for a while for some reason. People decided they didn't want to go ahead and do it straight away. But the idea with that is that we're doing a delivery of Anna's "You Know Something Is Wrong When" public affidavit. And we got several thousand of them printed up. We got them autographed with 25 living men and women's autographs and thumbprints on them. So every book has been witnessed by a grand jury. And they'll be delivered with a letter, just a common letter to go with all of them. The letter's coming from a place of love. So the idea is that we can go to all of the police stations and the councils and present this information from the point of view of, we're here to save you. And so that letter's being drafted or redrafted again at the moment. And we're hoping to get that all finalised before the end of November. So putting a little bit of pressure on ourselves, but we're pretty close to being ready for it. It was just that it had been put on ice for a bit. We've had quite a lot of very positive feedback in terms of what's happening with the policy enforcement arms of GovCo. Sean and Mookie got kidnapped while they were travelling up north recently. Mookie spent a couple of nights in the watch house, and Sean spent 7 nights in the watch house. I would suggest that there's probably no more knowledgeable man on earth than, well, combined, Mookie and Sean, in terms of the fraud and what's going on and how it affects us here on Terra Australis. And I think they're regretting their decision to take them for a little holiday. Sean, being in the watch house for 7 nights, got to spend a lot of time with the other people that were locked up there and share a lot of information, but also with the watch house guards. And it was very evident to him that there's a lot of infighting amongst themselves. Obviously, there's some of the policy enforcers that are quite happy with what they're doing because they're paying their mortgages and doing all the good slave things. But there were many others in there that are very aware that they've been harmed by the poisons, and what they're being asked to do is immoral. So we intend to take advantage of that with our pet initiative and help drive a little bit of a wedge. But again, coming from a position of love, we're here to help. We want you to be involved in your assemblies. Come along and learn what we're doing, what we're about. Stop listening to the indoctrination message that you're getting, all this sovereign citizen rubbish and that sort of thing. So quite confident that that will work well for us as well. And the government here is becoming increasingly and publicly tyrannical with what they're doing, and that's wonderful. Every step they take is waking up more and more people. They're rolling out the digital ID on the pretense that it's to keep kids safe, and that's supposed to kick off in December, 1st of December. And lots of other things. There was lots and lots of feedback about the WHO pandemic treaty and all this sort of stuff. So we did a letter in relation to that, which basically said, you're a service provider. You're supposed to be delivering the services that the people want and protecting and defending the people and their property. You're not doing that, so you forfeit any right to rule you may have had. You can do deals with whoever you like to do deals with in the interest of delivering the services the people want, but you may not do harm. And then we spelled out the ramifications for any harm that's caused, including that they don't have any legal defence, they don't have any statutory, what's it called? Protection, or after 12 months you get away with it scot-free. Well, none of that applies, and you'll be held to account by your neighbours who will see the evidence. So that's probably a little bit of a wrap up. The other the other big thing that we've done is we had a big influx of volunteers a couple of months ago. So we've had all these committees and action groups that we've needed to populate so that we can define the officers and define the processes we're going to use and all that stuff. And it needs lots of research and comprehending what it is we're doing. So we got all these volunteers come through, and it gave us the opportunity to restructure our decision-making processes. So we've gone from a group of, was 12 originally, it grew to about 20 people who were the drivers of the National Assembly. And then we've got 51 local assemblies across the country. And that's growing most days. So what we did is we said, okay, well, all of the coordinators who are currently out actively growing their local assemblies will become the drivers of the National Assembly. So we invited all of them in, plus anybody who's part of a action group. So if they're actively working to prepare for elections for the National Assembly, then they become part of the steering committee. And all decisions now go through that body. So there's about 90 people on the list. Our meeting on Tuesday night, we had 65 turn up for that meeting. And they get asked to put their authority to any of the decisions that are being made. And we're coming from the point of view that the more people that are actively involved, the more legitimacy we have. We have a little bit of a challenge here in that freedom is foreign to us. We've always been a colony, and we don't talk about freedom. People have no idea what that means. We don't have a people's constitution. We've never actually been free. We've never actually self-governed. It's always been corporate. So you talk to people about the constitution, which is a rubbish document. It's always been a legal document for us here. But nobody even knows we have a constitution, let alone that there's supposed to be some controls in place over the service providers. So we need to make sure that we dot the I's and cross the T's is what I usually say. We've got to make sure that the structure that we create is the legitimate American structure, but obviously tailored to our needs here. And we need to do that because that's a structure that is already internationally recognised. Our defining of all of the offices and that sort of thing is, again, a little bit different to America because we've got a different starting point. And our aim is to go slowly while we continue to grow numbers. And the numbers are growing quite strongly at the moment, which is great. But more importantly, grow active numbers. So getting the people who are reconveyed to be actively involved in either their local assemblies or in the National Assembly. As we create the model for the National Assembly, we're creating a template for the local assemblies to follow as well. That's a broad brushstroke overview. If anyone has any questions, happy to answer. But other than that, I yield.
Thank you, Darren. That is quite you know, an update of how your assembly is doing, especially for outreach. I have a question about why did they put Mookie and Sean behind bars? Like, was it because they were traveling privately in their conveyance?
Yes, it was. So, as you're aware, Mookie's been travelling for about 9 years, unlicensed, unregistered. He's completely removed from the system. In the last 12 to 15 months, he's done over 65,000 kilometres, which I guess is probably close to 50,000 miles in his private conveyance, including would now be 6 trips up north doing the paper run, so taking the Terra Australis up to North Queensland. He's also done a run up to Darwin, which is about, I think, 3,000 kilometres from here. He had police escorts a lot of the way, and they certainly knew that he was there. Wasn't touched. He and I went to New South Wales a couple of months ago, and same deal. We got followed with the flashing lights and the sirens. He didn't stop. He just pulled over a little bit to let them go around him. They followed us for 100 metres or so, then took off around him, took off around the car in front, raced off about 200 metres, did a U-turn, came back past us with the lights and sirens off. So he seems to have cracked it. What happened in Cairns this trip was they were travelling down the highway. The whole highway had been blocked for a random breath test, and they got pulled in, and there was a couple of young coppers there who decided to flex their muscle, and I'm quite certain that they regret that decision. That's just playing out at the moment, and we're again using it. You know, it's an opportunity for us to leverage what's happened to help motivate more people to come along and help us out. And also, you know, as he goes through that process, he's creating some template letters that can be used by others who are having similar issues. So.
Oh, beautiful. I see Andrew has his hand up. Andrew Ike, go ahead.
Yeah, no question. Just a comment to Darren. I want to congratulate him and tell him to keep it up because we're all rooting on you guys. I yield.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. We've got a wonderful team of people here working hard to make this happen.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you guys have started podcasts, because I know when I had you on the American State Assembly's podcast, I had encouraged you guys to start your own because it seemed like all of you who were on the podcast could, you know, had the skill sets and the talent. So it's beautiful to hear that you're either doing them yourself or getting on other people's podcasts, because I think that that's a great way to get the message out.
Yeah, well, Aaron's created a podcast, but he's had some distractions in the last month or so. So it's been a little bit clunky getting it up off the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely coming. I might just mention too, sorry, Andrew and Andrew, but we've begun a farmers group as well. And that was part of what we did when we went up to the Southern Downs. It's a big farming district. So we got to meet quite a few farmers and encouraging them to come along. We've already got about 12 or 13 farmers on a farmers group. And we're going
Nice.
to be podcasting that. We're going to try and bring the farmers together. So not assembly focused initially, but obviously the aim is to bring in as many farmers as we can and gradually educate them as to why they're being targeted and the way they are.
Yep.
And definitely looking forward to getting that one happening.
Oh, beautiful. All right.
Mm.
So both Andrews have your hands up. Andrew Ike, go ahead.
Well, I just want to say to Darren that, I asked you before for your email address, and I think I lost it. If you could put it in the chat again, because I have a podcast called Restore the Republic. And it's starting to get bigger and bigger, and I'd like you guys to come on, sometime, and we can try to work that out or something.
Yeah, with pleasure, mate. I'll do that for sure.
I yield.
Thank you.
Andrew Perosi, go ahead.
Yes, I'd just like to say thank you, Darren. It sounds like you're doing a nice job in Australia. And I just wanted to report that I was harassed by the law enforcement twice just for traveling, pulled over for no reason. I was given 3 tickets at 2 separate incidences, and I had the tickets rescinded via Anna's instructions on how to deal with tickets. So her process works. Once you show the court who you are and you put it in front of a judge, they rescind the tickets. I yield.
Wonderful, mate. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew. All right. Okay. Does anybody have any other questions for Darren? All right. And I'm also going to ask anybody if they had any other success on their outreach, any recent outreach initiatives that you guys want to share with the group tonight. Go ahead and raise your hand, unmute yourself. Nobody. Annette, go ahead.
Thank you for giving us an opportunity. We were very excited to be able to get an RV on Marion, and
Wow.
we have got plans to get it to most counties. Florida's pretty long, so it's going to be a bit of an interesting proposal, because I think it's about 12 hours from tip to tip, so it's pretty deep. Anyways, we have had the Assembly on Illinois help us out with decaling. They are creating our civilian flags and putting them into decals so that we can put them on, because the wrap cost was going to be like excessive, over $8,000. So they were creating those, and they promised to show us with a little video how to put them on. And we have a group that are all going to equip it with chairs and tables, and we have now got flags. We have some really new entrepreneurs that are also ASNs that are selling flags now, affordable. So we were able to get groups of 10. I mean, it's still $184 for 10, but we can use those to hand out to sheriff's offices and things of that nature. Now we just have to get down to where can we park this thing without somebody giving us grief, right? Because it's a big RV, but it's a great start, and we're very excited. Our question is, can we just hand out the Marion County brochures, or do we have to do just a Florida? But we can't really do the Florida. We really shouldn't and can't just do Florida. So is it just better to just do our Marion County ones and just hand out those brochures rather than try to, because we can't, a lot of the counties don't even have a logo seal. I mean, they don't have anything done. So we're in a quandary about what to hand out for each of these when we do the stops.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't, are you asking for what brochures to use? Is that what you were asking?
Well, that's a good yes. So we have the Marion County ones, And of course, it has the PKTF and the TASA and Claim Your Inheritance and all of those on it, the QR codes and things. But because a lot of these counties don't have themselves in a situation that they even have websites or they even have, organizers in some cases, I don't want to have to literally create brochures for each of them, which would jump the process. So the question is can we just hand out the Marion County ones all over unless their volunteers bring their own?
I don't know.
Ma'am?
Yeah, go ahead, Louise.
So, on your brochures, you said you have a link to the Claim Your Inheritance, and do you have a link to your Florida State Assembly website too?
No, I think we took that off because they were not cooperative about the PKTF. Remember? They were telling everybody that it's communist. So we didn't feel that that was appropriate.
What I mean, if that's the Florida, the Florida State Assembly is the Florida State Assembly. So that I think it would be appropriate to have their link on Marion County's brochures, maybe not their seal, because they might not want you to use that, but you can
Okay.
use the link to their website. The link to their website is also on Claim Your Inheritance as well, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We just noticed that in 2 years, they've never sent us a single email from anyone of that is interested in joining. So we just assume they're not really being happy about this whole process.
Yeah, well, that's an issue that needs to be dealt with for a state assembly, but it's still the state assembly.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say put their link, at least their link on your brochures, which would be fine.
Okay.
Not their seal though. That wouldn't be fine if they don't want you to use their seal.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, and then these other counties then, because they don't necessarily have themselves to that point, it's okay for those men and women to hand out our brochures?
Well, they could have their own, so they don't have a website either, right?
Correct. Most of them don't have the funds to buy, all of this stuff that we have.
I would just make a generic one without Marion County for
Good.
those and just put a
Okay.
link to your state assembly.
Okay, that works. Thank you for that advice. Okay. We are getting it organized. We are really getting excited. We have a lot of them that are willing to come and meet us, and they're checking with their local hotels and Publix and places and platforms that might let us park there. Kind of like the blood buses do all over. Not that I want to, no, not that I wanted to line us up with those, but we just don't want to have someone say, "Hey, you can't be here," soliciting.
Right.
Well, one thing I would say too is as the union state, I would keep a record of those people that's signing up and that you're meeting and everything, so you will have contact information for those people.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we have a clipboard that we've created a sign up thing with their email and the phone number or whatever information they want to share with us. So we're very excited about that. We also have now completed our big trailer that is for emergency for the militia. And we're very excited about that. Again, a question about logos on it. Are we allowed to put the PKTF on? Are we allowed to put the militia on? Are we allowed to put the CMS on it? What are we allowed to put on this trailer, or should we just leave it unmarked?
So
I would venture to guess that that's probably a good question for Anna, right? I mean, and if you're wanting to put the PKTF information on there, then you'd have to speak to PKTF. I don't see Joe having an issue, but I mean, I can't, I don't know if it's a jurisdictional thing, what have you. But Luis, maybe you have something you want to add.
Well, we want the assemblies to be the forefront, be the target person, be the contact person, be the people who the other people go to, not come to the PKTF, since we're not the government, we're a government service provider. So I would put your information as much as you can, not the CMSs, not the PKTFs, Marion County or Florida State.
Okay. We were
Mhm.
just, we don't want to be like those race cars with all the sponsors all over them. We were just wanting to, because everybody's looking at us, what do we do, right? So we want to make sure that we don't cross anything that we're not supposed to be doing. So I greatly appreciate your advice. Thank you.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I would also add that, you have to ask, what is the point, and the point is that you're trying to build attention to your county assembly and your state assembly. And my other thing that I would say is that, some of the issues that you're facing with your state assembly, that eventually will get worked out. I mean, I honestly think that people are just, you're in a zone that's unfamiliar and unknown. It's like uncharted territory. And people, I think because it's an unknown, uh, are very nervous, skeptical, or what have you. I think eventually they're going to come around, hopefully. Um, and it goes back to the initial thing I think that we spoke about a few months back was that, somebody may be falling out of honor, but that doesn't mean that you should, right? Like you're doing your due diligence by, acting as a model county and lawfully and peacefully assembling and trying to gather information from these different groups and with Luisa's uh, outline of her project and coming together and doing things lawfully and figuring it out just because other people may be disapproving or whatever it is, doesn't mean that you have to act out of honor because of that as well. Like you're going to put your best foot forward in an effort to collaborate with them. Now, what they do is in their control, not in yours. But you guys can only, on your county, can only control what you guys are doing. And if you're following a process showing that you are trying to collaborate and cooperate with them, then I think that that's all you can do, And I agree, like that clipboard that you're talking about, getting everybody's information. When we do outreach on our state, that's how we built our contact list, to invite people to our events. And so that will eventually become your list of people, with or without the help of your state. And we have a couple of hands up. So Andrew, go
Thank
ahead.
you.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before, but this might be a new group. What I've been doing is, along with the trifolds that Luis has on Claim Your Inheritance, I've been passing them out, trying to get them out and meeting with the farmers and business owners and explaining to them what we can do as a group. We got to just rethink this, and we can really bust it out. But along with all that stuff, I came up with a notice, an official notice, got it notarized, and I've been around to every town or village in my county, city council meetings, and got them on the record so that there's a paper trail so that they can't deny it anymore. And the county seat, I actually gave them the same one, gave them the speech. And then, at the end of my notice, it has they don't rebut within 21 days, because that's, I think, in the law of contracts, that it makes it a tacit agreement. So I went back after 25 days, put that on record, and yeah, I really got some people's attention. But I am getting shut out of their media, the county media. They're putting everybody else's stuff from the city council meetings other than mine, so I'm going to be working on that. But what I got going on right now is I'm doing a deep dive into, how we got to unincorporate these counties and the townships. So I'm starting with the townships, and that's about it. So, Luis, I'm probably going to get a hold of you because I'd like to talk to you about that, and so that's what I'm doing for now. So, I yield.
Beautiful. Good outreach. Thank you for sharing, Andrew. Vicky, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to let Annette know that on that ICE drive in the outreach folder link that you have, in the trifold brochure folder, there are quite a few generic trifold brochures that would be good. And also there's a folder called One Page Outreach, and there's a lot of really good one-page ones that you could use also that would be easy to just, change your information, but everything else is done. I yield.
Awesome. Thank you, Vicky. Yeah, I will just add a little plug. Vicky is very talented with coming up with brochures and flyers, and her newsletter caught our eye, and she just has a knack for it. So thank you, Vicky, for your skill sets and talents. We appreciate all that you've contributed. All right, guys, if we don't have anything else to report for outreach, I did want to say that a few of us have been invited to be on Neathy's Exit Stage Left. Luis and I were on a few weeks ago, last week, I think that was, and she had her grandbaby with her. It's not a good time for her, but also Deborah Ann, and it's been a great discussion opportunity. If anybody has any topics that they feel like they'd like us to discuss, that would help our assemblies, maybe some challenges that we're trying to overcome, just send them to me in my email account, and we'll try to bring those topics up and discuss them. And I did also want to say to Andrew and Adam, I love your podcast with the sheriffs and talking about all the different things that encompass and require for that position as sheriffs. You guys have been covering some really great material. And if you ever want to come on as special guests to the American State Assembly's podcast, I'd love to have you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's some
Kind of
great.
intimidating, though. There's a lot of women over on that channel.
Well, I interview all men and women, so it used to be Michelle co-hosted with me, and she had to take a full-time job, so it's just little old me, and so anyway, but it's fun, and I like the conversations that you guys have been having. It's good to see more people stepping up and doing podcasts, which I feel like it's so important for us to support one another. Everybody that has a podcast, doing a podcast. I was just watching, and I was trying to figure out if this is a ongoing podcast because I've seen a few of them now, but Dr. B and Diana, I think it's Diana Kaiser, and Dennis from Arizona. I just watched a podcast, and I think it's fairly new, but it was a really great podcast, and they did a really great job getting the information out. Dr. B is so fun to watch. He's got such a funny laugh, and it's great because he's a chiropractor, and he's helping to spread the word using his platform with his business. So we need to support those of us who are stepping up to the plate and doing podcasts and sharing each other's information. So I'm going to encourage everybody to do that. That's how we're going to grow. I love it. I think it's beautiful. All right, let's see. That's all I have for me. I'm going to go ahead and give the floor over to Luis so you can update us on the latest information with, the project. So go ahead, Luis.
Okay, let me share my screen. I'm putting the documents in the chat that I'm gonna refer to.
Okay.
And the podcast, while you're talking about that, it's further down in my notes, but I'm gonna talk about it now. Our news platform, all these podcasts and things we got going on, we want to organize them onto a news platform. I still need a executive director to pull together what these topics are going to be and all that kind of thing. So I'm still looking for somebody, or I should say, executive editor, to pull together all the news that's going on all these states and all these counties. So I'm put that plug in now. We need that to get that off the ground. So we already talked about the Spanish folder. We already talked about the monthly meetings. The links are there. Stand up county support meetings. Those are every Mondays. I put the link there to Karen on North Carolina. She's helping out in that regard, and the support handbook that she has there. She's putting it together. Little basic things on how to get a county assembly organized. And I think I might have skipped mine. There is, I put in the chat, maybe I didn't put it in the chat, I'll put it in here later. There is another a guidebook, I'm calling it, Resurgence Coordination Team's guidebook, that I'm putting together for all the coordination teams as you all are planning your outreach. I'm trying to put everything in there about county organizing, state organizing, town assembly organizing. All that is going into that guidebook. It's a work in progress. If it's not in the chat now, I'll put it in there before I'm finished here. So that's that. Put in the plug for the TV platform. Yeah, need an editor. And we also need another website development team to actually develop a TV platform or figure out which TV platform software that is best to use. We have a website development team working on the American government's website and those platforms, because we have several things going on with that. But they're doing that. So to bring this TV platform and the blog news platform online, we need another website team to work on that type of those parts. Anybody interested, email me. The last thing I want to mention this, there's new development going on, which is funding opportunity for the Resurgence Project. Emily on California has come on the State Strategy Task Force years ago, said that she had some funding availability to offer to fund the outreach that's going on here at the American Government Resurgence Project. So we've been communicating with her and to her funding source, the private bank that she's connected with. And right now, it looks like we're going to get some funds to help the county and state assemblies do these county tours and help the peacekeepers do phase 3 tours. So we're not going to help everybody at the same time. Everybody's at a different stage. So that works. You know, we don't have enough money to help everybody at the same time. But I want to know, some of you already know because y'all shared here today. I need to know who's planning their outreach tour so that we can prioritize where the money is going to go. Florida, I know New Jersey, I know Australis, and we want to support our foreign states too. And I know Andrew's over there on that county trying to do his thing. So I know certain counties and certain states are doing things already. So if you're not at the Resurgence Coordination Teams meeting, or you know of another state that's not here at the International Outreach Think Tank meeting, but they are doing or are planning and out there doing their outreach, have them contact the PKTF so I can put them on the list, because we'll have to go through a list and prioritize who it will be that will receive funding first. So that's on the table right now. Probably in the next, I'm gonna say the next 2 to 3 weeks, we may know something more definite. We're planning to try to meet with Anna next week on what's this funding opportunity and get her input, and with the bank president, get them two together so we can talk about it. So the next couple of weeks, I hope I'll have something more definite and who will be the ones that we could support with it. And either way it go, whether the funding comes from this avenue or the funding comes from GFG, it's still the same thing. You're gonna have to have some funding to do your outreach. So the whole plan is gonna go off, no matter where the funding comes from, it's got to go off this way anyway. All right, that's my updates. Any questions? I saw a question. I saw a hand is down now.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably next spring into the summer, Andrew and myself plan on as PSO representatives going across the state to all the big counties and addressing things there and offering education materials and just letting them know that we're there across the state. And we wanted to be the first ones to let them know personally, so that way they're not alarmed, what they should be looking for, to expect as far as Americans coming on board in their counties and cities. And then also I'm pretty much doing the same type of stuff on my county as Andrew's doing down in Richland. So obviously, we could use all the help we can get because we're planning on doing like a regional thing, not just on Ohio, as far as the PSO goes. So I will coordinate with the neighboring states and, get their permissions and all that and get them on board. But that's kind of what we're looking to do.
That's great. It's like I like to see the coordination, all this effort we're putting out there. If we 2 and 3 and 4 get together and coordinate together, it's going to be less work. And I believe it'd be more effective because all these talents that other people have that you don't have, and you pulling it all together makes things so much better. So yeah, I got the PSO down.
Excellent.
On my list.
Well, you'll be in on it. We're going to perfect what we're going to be doing over the winter months, and we'll have it ready to go probably into May. We'll be ready to kick it into full gear.
So I know the Resurgence Project really includes everybody. Everybody have a place. When I say everybody, I mean the assemblies have a place, the states and the counties, the county sheriffs have a place, the PSO, the county sheriffs have a place, the continental marshals have a place, the peacekeeping task force and the liaisons have a place, the fiduciary has a place. If you know what the project is, everybody's got a place and a job to do. So the funds will be spread out with everybody. But we have to prioritize the people who are out there doing it now. And then the ones who's picking up, going to pick up later, they'll be on the next round.
Luis, may I?
Yeah.
So who was it that you said that's donating the funds?
So Emily Wege on California, she has connections with a private bank, and that's where the funds are coming from. Oh. And we had a meeting with the bank president and the trustees, Emily, Boyd, myself, last week. And we planned a meeting. I already texted Anna because we had a meeting scheduled with Anna before Jim passed, but we had to postpone that.
Yep.
So we're going to try to get it back on board next week, so we can get them two together and have a conversation about what that bank has to offer and what our bank has to offer, and see if they can work some magic together there.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. Does anybody have any other questions about the project? I know for us on New Jersey, we've been plugging away, and we were going to shoot for October, but we didn't think we'd be able to pull it off. There's a lot of things that we have to do as far as putting the public notice. We're going to put it in a local newspaper. And then we're going to have time to canvas. And we created our own public notices using your template, and one of our members believe she's still on tonight. Yeah, Patisa had put together a public notice and, drafted something. So I had, through kind of merged those two together and put up, created our own. Once my assembly, once the outreach committee approves it and gives it a thumbs up, we'll share. I'll share it on the Ice Drive account. We're also planning at the same time simultaneously we put out there an annual fundraiser because we need funds, and hey, if somebody's going to be donating funds, Luis, we would certainly appreciate that. But we're trying to run an annual fundraiser at the same time to raise funds for this stuff and purchasing different paraphernalia to sell at our event. We have the lapels, the peacetime lapels that we're looking to order. So I would say if I did get a phone number from the Ohio Assembly shared a contact with me, and I was really appreciative. The gentleman hasn't been completely communicative. So if anybody has another contact for lapels to order them, I'd love to have that information and if anybody has that. But we're also going to do baseball caps, t-shirts, and this sort of stuff. And we're just trying to secure a place. We're looking into the county libraries. We have another guy on our assembly that is looking into an establishment that, kind of like going back to the forefathers of our time where they got together in pubs for their meetings. And so we're kind of looking into those kinds of establishments as well and kind of weighing out our options. These kinds of things, we also want to offer refreshments. So we're looking into, providing drink because if we're going to hold a meeting at 6 o'clock at night and people are coming from work, we want to be able to provide them something to take the edge off and they're not showing up hangry, you know. So we're looking into those kinds of things and, so that's where we're at. We are looking at the second week in November to hold our first county tour. We're trying to stay firm with that date because we know the holidays are coming around and, people aren't going to want to have time or, will be interested. I don't think, I know when we do outreach events, normally during the holidays, it's our least amount of, we get the least amount of people coming to those events. So we're trying to hold it before the holiday season. And so these are the things that, this is the update for us and where we're at. So, Luis, you have your hand up, so I guess you want to go ahead.
I wanted to mention that those documents I put in the chat, they actually are for the replay of the Resurgence Coordination Team's meeting, the last meeting on the third meeting that we have a link to. Those documents go to that replay. So when you listen to the replay, you'll need to refer to those documents to understand what was going on. Mm.
Okay. And
that's all I wanted to say.
I downloaded those too. So when I send the replay back for this, I'll include those documents.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Anybody else, trying to plan a county tour? No? Well, I'm hoping that when we do our county tour that we actually video it. I'd like to video it so that we could, we've been discussing it's going to be a learning curve. Like we're going to see what works, because when we were discussing the different venues to look into, we were discussing, well, if we do it at a pub, and we don't get a lot of people, well, then next time we're going to try a county library. And then, if somebody is, brave enough and wants to go to the municipal building and secure a room in the municipal building, which is our building, but we're probably gonna try that too. Like we're just gonna keep trying these different venues, and see what's going to stick, see what's going to work, and learn as we go along. So I know our assembly is excited for this, and we've been working hard at trying to pull it together and kind of work out the details. So yeah, go ahead, Louise.
So I like that you all are testing it, different places and stuff. Make sure you bring back the notes, because
Yeah.
we need to know what's working for one group and test it out in another group. I know Anna told us, PKTF, that she wants us to narrow down the model counties to just 4 to see to do a test run. I'm like, I wasn't planning on just 4. I was going to do them all. But she was like, we need to figure out what's working and what, doesn't work, so let us know as y'all testing different things, or what color the brochure should be, whatever. And Vicky, those were great. You just did. And feel free to be creative. I mean, the information, don't kind of change that, but the designs and stuff like that, go at it.
Yeah. Yeah. And for us with our county tours, like I said, we're trying to solicit the help from the people that live on the county, and hoping that will spark an interest for them to maybe want to organize their counties, or even participate in our state assembly. A lot of the people that are status corrected on our state, and they do have the choice to not get involved in the government, but we've never even met them. So it's an opportunity for our state assembly members to meet our general public, because that's who they are. It's our general public, to be able to meet them. And we're soliciting their help, and basically, they'll be introducing the officers of the state assembly, and then we'll be giving the slide presentation. So, and we're also going to set it up so that we can do on the spot status correction. Yeah. So there's a beautiful, all sorts of beautiful technology out there that can help you with it. Especially when you're uploading it to an land recording office. There's all sorts of, the cam scan, where you could use your phone camera to scan the document, and it saves it as a PDF, and you could just, for me, I have Mac. I know a lot of people don't like using Macs, but I've got an iPhone and a MacBook. I can airdrop it from my phone to my Mac, and then from my Mac, I can upload it to the LRO. So, and then it's just a matter of getting like a small portable printer, So these are the things that we're looking into, and, going to try to set up. Obviously, if we're there and we have everything available for people to do status corrections, we'll get a feel for how that's going to work as well. If we want to continue to include that, and at the least, it's at least an introduction to our recording secretaries, and introducing people and having that connection, and helping them along the way to that status correction. So, all right. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add or say, or something that's worthwhile to mention for outreach purposes? All right, guys. Woof, we did it in an hour and a half tonight. That's pretty good. All right. Well, I'm going to say good night. I do have on the agenda that we will reconvene on Wednesday, November 12th. So mark your calendars for next month. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Actually, I got to change that because that's actually the night that we have planned to do our first county tour. So it'll be the next, it'll be the following Wednesday, whatever that is. Let's take a look real quick. Sorry, guys. The 19th, so November 19th. I'll make sure to correct that too, so everybody knows. All righty. I think that's a wrap, guys. Thank you everybody for joining tonight, and good luck with your outreach throughout the month. And Luis, your next meeting, you said, is the second Sunday of the month?
Second Sunday of the month. It's on the on my little outline there.
Okay, beautiful. All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Have a good
everyone.
night,
Well,
everyone.
Good night,
Thank you,
Joel.
everyone.
Good
Lots
night.
of lots of great info. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.